Hey everybody, this is Phi. Checking out Hypervelocity. This is a game I've not played before. We're going to give it a playtest. See if we can give some useful feedback. I'm coming right off of playing Vector Fury by a different developer, which is also a flight. I don't know if you want to call it a flight sim, but a flight game, whatever. And I expect this to be dramatically faster from what I've seen than that game. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects things, the general experience. I'm not. My point isn't to compare the two games. I'm just going to give feedback based on my experience with this game. But I've got the game page open here. This is a very basic prototype with a flight model, enemies, terrain, and some weapons. No sound or UI, and lots of things are untextured. Controls. Left stick is turn, left trigger is thrust. Okay, so it's on one trigger, I guess. Interesting. Left button plane, handbrake. Stick press, aim mode. Right stick, lateral thrusters. Interesting. Right trigger is gun. Right button missiles. Okay. So it looks like you have your weapons on your right index finger there. A on Xbox to select target. B is afterburner. D-pad left switches missiles, D-pad right switches gun. Mouse control is optional but barely functional. I do have the Xbox controller here. Open the console and type restart level if you die. Okay. I guess you didn't have time to fit that in there. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into this. I'm gonna have to try and figure out the controls here. Oh, I touched the mouse, it moved the thing a little bit here, so it looks like we kind of float in place. We got, looks kind of like a manta ray. Unfortunately, oh, this is, oof. Oh, that's rough. Okay, so the pitch is inverted from what I'm used to, so I have to press up to pitch up, which feels quite wrong to me. I'll try to get used to it. Interesting how you have this, like, oh, I am moving around, I guess. For some reason, when I roll over, I start moving around based on the way the ground texture looks here, I guess. It's quite weird. Don't know what's going on in the top left there. So I did notice when I first ran the game. Oh my gosh! All right, I have to press up to pitch up. When I first ran the game, it did go through this interesting generation process where you could see the. Oh my gosh! You could see the terrain kind of popping into existence, being generated. So there's the gun. There's some curvy missiles there. There's the throttle. Is that the brake? Or what is okay, I gotta check the controls again because it's not obvious what brake is. Alright, the left button is handbrake, so that's the bumper, I assume. Alright, so I can touch the mouse there. Hold on a minute. Alright. I don't know if I can actually play this with the pitch being inverted from what I'm used to. Oh my gosh. It also does feel weird to have thrust only on one side. And it being on the left. But I guess it makes sense if you want the right button to be shoot, so that would be something to get used to, I guess. I do like how fast it rolls and pitches and stuff like that. It feels cool, it's just... Oof. It's really hard for me to get used to. I'm getting a little bit of frame dropping here and there. I think it's in borderless window mode, so it's not going to be perfect in terms of performance and the frame stability here. I mean, that could be because it's overtaxing my GPU also, but it could also just be due in part to that. So I definitely prefer to use exclusive full screen where possible. So it'd be nice to have that option at some point in the future. So yeah, this feels good to move around. It's just the inverted movement is rough for me. I think there's... What is going on with this aiming indicator thingy? Sometimes I see a little green line that's zipping towards one of these guys. And then sometimes it's just not there anymore. It looks like I got a little red line for aiming generally, and then sometimes like looks like it's trying to lock onto one of these guys or something like that, but oh gosh. What the heck? Oh, stuff is really slowing down. Alright, so that's weird. So when you slow down enough, your roll slows down dramatically. And that's what's kind of confusing to me, because once you start speeding up, now it's like you roll super fast. I don't quite understand the inconsistency there. Seems more confusing than anything to me. And yeah, I don't quite understand how this is trying to. It looks like it's trying to lock onto something, but I can't make sense of. It seems to kind of like appear there for a second. I don't know. This could be debug stuff, but this little laser thing that generally shows up that I think is supposed to indicate my aiming, it does just disappear when I get down there and like point myself at one of these guys. So I don't quite understand why it's not there anymore. Oh, I can't do it. Alright, random missile spam. I guess there's no way to yaw. Alright, we have an afterburner. Alright, spamming more missiles. There's afterburner in case you weren't going fast enough already. Whee! Oh, and it kind of locks your... Whoa, I'm stuck in burn mode here. Weird. Okay, so it kind of locks your your orientation when you start afterburning, so you can't turn and stuff. It's kind of weird to begin with, but interesting. Confusing thing is, it seems like once you go fast enough, yeah, it seems like it's something like based on your speed. Like once you hit a certain speed, you can't really maneuver properly anymore. I don't quite understand. Like it seemed to be happening even when I was not. Oh yeah, even when I was not using the afterburn, if I speed up enough, it seemed to start. Yeah, like right now I can't roll anymore. That's really weird. Like I can understand that, you know, you go fast enough, it's gonna limit your ability to turn and stuff. But it's really weird when it just completely locks it. Before I thought it was because I'm afterburning, so maybe you just made it so that you have to kind of aim your afterburn, and then just let go of it when you want to stop and maneuver again. But it kind of, whoa, that was really chunky there. Kind of keeps going. Oh my gosh, it's getting really chunky. Dropping a lot of frames and stuff. The fact that after oh right, I gotta press up. The fact that after I let off the afterburner, I'm still kind of stuck for a few seconds is quite weird to me. I don't know what else to do, but yeah, it's really, there's something it's doing that's making me drop a ton of frames here and there. Which again would be a little bit better if it was exclusive full screen mode in general, but I don't know how much of that is just due to, performance and my hardware and that kind of thing. It does look like it's trying to lock on to these guys a little bit here and there. I guess some of these are probably friendly because they're not. Looks like there's a red highlight, but it's really kind of subtle. I mean, I could tell it was there since a while ago, but it's unless you get close, it's kind of like it's a bit too small to render really clearly. This dude's flying around up in the air. Oof. Yeah, just dropping a lot of frames randomly. Like it's not like it's running at 15 frames per second or something. It's just like every so often it just drops like 100 frames. It's like quite chunky. Now what is going on over here? Wow, I was trying to stop. Apparently I couldn't stop quite like that. Please get off of this rock. Thank you. I'm still struggling with these controls. Okay. So yeah, I'm not sure what else to do. There's some... The things in the air are going to be hard to deal with at all just because of the nature of the fact of how fast I move versus how small they are. And of course the fact that I struggle with the controls as much as I do. It does look like I did finally die. Stuff looks like it's flying into the ground. Apparently, why is on the left here? All of these tanks are floating up and down, passing through the ground plane. Wow, what is going on? Very buggy looking. Kind of funny. I don't know if they were doing that before I died or if it just the game kind of doesn't handle the player not being there anymore very well or something. I don't know what's going on exactly, but quite silly looking. I'm not sure if I should keep trying this because I don't know what else to do. So I might as well wrap this up. But yeah, so there's a couple of weird things with the controls. The major thing for me is the fact that the pitch is inverted. It makes it like impossible for me to control the game because every other game I've played is opposite from that. So at least, you know, that should be an option. And so that would help me out a lot to be able to actually, you know, try this properly. The other thing is like where it starts, like I said before, where it starts kind of taking away your control. It didn't really feel right to me. Would have made a lot more sense if it was like, okay, past a certain point, your speed limits how fast you can turn, that kind of thing. But when it's like taking it away entirely, that doesn't feel right to me at all. I'm also not sure if it should take away like your ability to roll. I don't know if that should be limited also. Also when you slow down and you roll slow, that kind of thing. So those are things that I would look at. Apart from that, I think the speed of being able to, how fast you can maneuver and stuff feels really good. So that's kind of, I guess one of the things that always stood out about this game is how fast it looked, and it does seem like it would feel really good to move around like that. Another thing I'll mention, all the enemies seem really, really small, which I think is kind of working directly against what you're going for here with, you know, how fast the maneuvering is and stuff, because you can't do like really super fine movements to try and aim at really small objects. I understand you have things like there's a little bit of an auto lock on with the gun going on. It's not very much. And then of course you have like the missiles that are going to home into stuff like that. So, you know, those things can work with that. But I think it would be a good idea to aim for adding targets to the game that are much larger, because I think that's what's going to work better with being able to zoom around so fast. Unless you want to add like a massive amount of auto aim and that kind of thing. So stuff to consider. Obviously this is very early and seems kind of chunky, buggy and stuff like that, but it looks cool so far, and hopefully this is a useful peek at someone trying it out for you. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video.